Hi everyone, let's talk books. And today I want to talk about series. I've been seeing a couple of people talk about the different series that they're reading, or how bad they are at series, or starting new series. And I just thought I would come on here and share some of the series that I'm currently reading, because as soon as I started thinking about it, I realized that I've actually started quite a few series and I'm very into them and I like to continue them. A few of them I think will be really obvious if you've watched the recent videos I put up. So that's where I'll start. Probably one of the books I just finished literally like a few minutes ago. Size 12 and Ready to Rock. I just finished that, and it's a second to last book, I believe, in the Heather Wells series. I don't think there's anything between that and the last one. So I just need one more book in that series, I believe, and I will be done with it. I've been enjoying it so far. That the first book is Size 12 is Not Fat. I really enjoyed it. It's super light, kind of murder mystery series, and it's not really, they'll have a murder mystery, but it's about like a former pop star who works at a residence hall / dorm in New York. Super light books that have just become a little bit like comfort food in the last couple of months for me. So reading that one. I've also, for this month, you will also see on my wrap-up me talking about Robopocalypse by Daniel H. Wilson, and I did not know that it was a series. It's a short series. I think it's just two, maybe three books, and so I really enjoyed that first one, and I might be picking up the second one at some point once I finish some of the books I'm reading right now. The other series that I'm reading on my Kindle, that's why I keep looking down, is the In Death series. This is a J.D. Robb or Nora Roberts series, and it follows a detective in like a futuristic world, and she is tracking down murders. It's a really fun series. I think part of what I like it is that there is a kind of romance element, but it's not will they, won't they, and it's not like, oh, she's hooking up with everybody. It's a marriage. So the book features Lieutenant Eve Dallas. She meets this like super billionaire in book one, and I think it's like by book three they're married. Spoiler alert, sorry, but it's not, that's not what the series is really about. So each book kind of deals with a different murder, and Eve trying to solve it. She has some issues that she's working through from her childhood. So does Rourke, but most of the series is them as a married couple, and struggling with relationship stuff. But it's not like, oh, he cheated on her or she cheated on him, at least as far as I've gotten in the series. It's more about like, okay, how do we work through childhood traumas that we've had and kind of hang-ups that we have as a couple. So I find that really refreshing. They're super light books. They're not super duper serious, but it has enough in there that keeps me interested. I'm in book 7, I believe. All right, another series that I'm currently in the middle of reading, but I've only read the first book. That's Chelsea Cain's Heartsick. This follows a detective, Archie Sheridan, and serial killer Gretchen Lowell. And the first book is what I'm about to say takes place before the book, so it's not a spoiler, that he basically was on the hunt for her. She finds him, kidnaps him, tortures him, and as he's dying, she calls the cops, calls an ambulance, saves his life, and then she's in jail, and there is another kind of serial killer on the loose, and it looks like the series is kind of the back and forth relationship and kind of trauma caused by what happens before this book. So I really enjoyed the first book. I have the next 2-3 books, I believe, so I really need to just go back to reading it, but like I said, I've only read this first one so far. Next series is a little bit interesting because I did not read the first one first. I started with Her Last Breath by Linda Castillo, and this is the Kate Burkholder series. It's about an Amish community And this the main character, Kate, is a former member of the Amish community, and now she is a police officer, and she investigates the kind of problems that exist in this community. So I started with that one, Her Last Breath. I enjoyed it enough that it made me go out and purchase the first one, as long as a few other of the books in the series. But the first one is her Sworn to Silence. So I'm going to go back and start the series at the beginning because there was enough in Her Last Breath to make me really interested. I thought the whole setting in an Amish community was really interesting and really cool, and I hadn't really read anything like that before. I'm sure it's not super unique. I just had never read anything set in that community before. Okay, a little bit of a different series is this one by Alyssa Cole. This is the first book, An Extraordinary Union, and I believe I've read the second book, but it's a Civil War series, a romance novel series, and so they all take place in the Civil War, and they involve interracial relationships. Usually, someone who is not currently enslaved. So far in the first two books, it is not about someone who's enslaved, but a black person during the Civil War, and a white person, right? The second book in the series is called A Hope Divided, and she is coming out with the third book, I believe, this year. Either way, I've really been enjoying Alyssa Cole, and I hope to continue reading the series because they are really good books. If you're into romance, she does the romance really well. She does Civil War setting really well. So I've really been enjoying it. So I will be continuing to read the series. Next up is another one that I started. I didn't realize it was a series, but I just read The Girl in 6E. This is also going to be in my June wrap-up, and it's about a cam girl who has basically shut herself off from the world because she doesn't want to kill, and she feels like she's getting the urges to kill. I'm not going to say anything more about it because if that interests you, that's going to be enough. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this series? I really liked it. It is a sexy thriller. It's an erotic thriller, I should actually say. So it's not going to be for everybody, but I found out that there's a few more books in the series, and I really enjoyed this one, so I am definitely going to be picking up the rest of the books. Okay, so the next one, I'll put the screen in the book. The first book in the series is You by Caroline Kepnes. The next book in the series is Hidden Bodies, and I have it in my possession, so I am going to be reading it at some point. This is a really interesting series because You is told from the perspective of a stalker, and it's kind of you follow him through the entire process of him stalking a girl, and it's really freaky. It's not for everybody, but if you're into these kind of freaky thrillers, I think you'd enjoy You. You find yourself kind of sympathizing with the stalker, which is kind of icky, but she does it in a way that it didn't feel icky for me. I really enjoyed it, and when I found out that there was a second book following the same character, I immediately went and picked it up, and I follow her on Twitter now, and I think she has talked about how at some point there might be a third book to it. She's working on other stuff right now, but I am really interested in continuing to follow her in her writing. She just released a book that I haven't really looked up and don't know much about, but I might be also be looking into that. So this is in the middle of a series that I am really enjoying. So that is it. Those are the series that I'm currently reading. I could do an entire other video on the series that I'm hoping to start, because as I was looking at my shelves, I see a bunch of other books that are part of a series and I just haven't gotten to. Look really interesting and all that, but I just haven't gotten to them. So these are the ones that I'm currently reading, and I'm trying to decide whether I need to prioritize these or let these sit for a while, move on to other series. I don't know. I am currently in the middle of the In Death series and the Heather Wells series. Like those I will finish. The Heather Wells series I'll finish soon. The In Death series it's just going to be an ongoing project. But some of these other ones, like the Kate Bruckholder series, might take me a little while to get through, especially because I'm reading them in the physical book. The Archie Sheridan and Gretchen Lowell series might also take me a little while. Some of these other ones, though, like, I should just get to Hidden Bodies and read it, right? I don't know. Anyways, let me know which of these series you think I should just continue reading and finish. Let me know if you've read any of them, or in what book series are you in the middle of. That'll give me some ideas of other series to add to my TBR, because I need to be adding other things to my TBR, right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.